All right, we are here, week one. Labs look good, the ones I've gotten and looked at, they look fine. Looks like you have control over dimensional control over the text. Looks like you have control over paper space, model space somewhat. We're getting there. So that's good. Today's Wednesday the 1st, so you have kind of a big lab today. So the first part of the lab is making a template. Okay, and I'm going to go over that. The second part is working with these two boxes. So those of you not here, you don't have the boxes, but we'll work with that somehow. You're going to draw the flat pattern of those boxes. The flat pattern. So I'll show you when I kind of get done with this. We'll stop the recording and then maybe I'll make another recording showing the boxes for Amy, who's not here. All right. So that's the plan. Let's do templates first. So you have to make two templates. One template for US, inches, one template for metric. Inside of each template are two layouts. Does that make sense? One layout is going to be A size. That's a regular size piece of paper. One layout's going to be for B size. That's 11 by 17. Okay. So I'm going to show you I'm going to get you started on the templates. I do have like specific layers that I want you to use, but you can add layers to your template anytime. This is the kind of base level template. So anything you want to like set up, make more convenient for yourself, go for it beyond this. But I want this as the minimum. So it's going to have some layers in it. It's going to have two layouts. It's going to have a title block with every layout, and I'll show you how to do that. Dimension text to 0.125 or 3 millimeters, depends on if it's US or metric. And then precision to, oops, that should be XX. Maybe I typoed. I'll fix that. Precision to hundreds, 2 places. Okay. All right, let's look at how to do it. New share, AutoCAD, share. New drawing, and stop me whenever you want if you don't know what I'm doing or you can't or you don't quite get it. A template is just made from a drawing, so you don't have to start anything new. You don't have to open a template. You don't have to do anything. When you do open a file, like when I go new, the first thing it asks you for is the template. Okay, your template will show up on this list if you make it on a computer here or on your computer at home or on your laptop. It'll show up with the rest of the templates. You'll have to look for it alphabetically, like you might have to search for it, right? But it'll show up here. Okay. The template that AutoCAD loads by default is the ACAD template, and that is inches, US inches. Okay. So if you just open AutoCAD, that is an inch setup. So you could make your US inches template just by opening AutoCAD and going for it. If you want to make your metric version, that is ACAD ISO, International Systems Organization or something like that. It's metric. Okay. So then when you put in numbers, like if you were to draw a line and put in the number 1, it would draw a 1 millimeter line. Right? So when you want to go to make that template, you have to open the ACAD ISO. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to make my metric version first. It'll have some different settings. I turn the grid off right away just because I'm not a grid guy, right? But to prove, there's no indication that it's metric. Like it doesn't, I wish it like flashed it on there or it had a little watermark that said metric. There's nothing. You just have to know, oh, this is thinking millimeters, meters, centimeters. Okay. If I draw a line 1 unit long, which is going to be a millimeter. Let me make sure I did that and didn't typo it. Yeah, I did typo it the first time. I don't know what I put in the first time. I'm like, why does that look so big? There it is. Right? So it looks small on the screen. That's your first indication, but I can do this, right? I can zoom. So now it doesn't look so small. I still don't know that's a millimeter. I'm not convinced. So I'm going to go to layout. And I'm going to zoom back until I see my thing. Actually, I see it right there. Right? So I'm going to kind of bring it into view. But then I'm going to set the scale to 1:1. How big should this be on that piece of paper? 1 millimeter is super small. So then I zoom, I look at the page. Clearly that's a millimeter. That's not an inch, right? An inch would be pretty long because it's an 11-inch piece of paper, right? 1 millimeter would be that size. So that's how you can just verify what system you're in by going to layout, setting the scale 1:1, and you should get a feel for like how big it actually is, right? Okay, so I'm definitely got that going. If it's been a while since you created layers, I'll show you that real quick. I'll get rid of this line. You don't want any lines in your template. You want it blank, except for the title block and paper space, right? We want that there. I have seen, and I have done this myself. I'm going to put some text in. Single line text. So I've seen people do that. So now when I save it as a template, that'll be sitting there. And when you open it, it'll just be sitting there. So it's just not blank. Some people are just uncomfortable with it being blank. So you can put something in model space if you want to, up to you. Yeah, then as you open it, each one, that'll be the first thing you do is delete it. Because when you open it, it's going to open it as a drawing, not a template. So we got to get that completely figured out. I'm going to just put a couple layers in, and then maybe I'll do a rough title block for you, and then we'll make the template so you can see that whole process. Okay. So layer properties is here. If I click on layer properties, it opens up the layer property dialog box. You get the 0 layer, that stays, you cannot remove it. Okay, just leave the 0 layer there. AutoCAD needs it. But here's the new layer button right there, new layer. And you click it, it gives you a new layer. It also highlights the name so you can visible, I think that's right. You can name it. You can set the color. And I have these, so you will set specific colors. I don't care what color of blue, you can choose whatever color of blue. Darker works better, I can tell you that. Lighter colors are hard to see. And then line type for visible is continuous, but if I wanted it to be something else, I would have to load that line type before I could set it. Okay. The rest, I'm not worried about. You can put a line weight to this one. I think I actually did say 1 millimeter. That seems a little big, but we'll try that. So I put 1 millimeter to visible lines because visible lines are supposed to be thicker than hidden lines or center lines or dimensions. So, all right, I'll do one more. Click the new layer button. Give yourself a name. And this one I do want set to a different line type. So I'm going to load that. I'm in the metric version, so I'm going to use the metric version of hidden if I can find it. I think they might call it dash, double dash, dash dot, dash space, dash, that one. So that set a layer there, and I'm going to give this a different color too. I think I said red, but I don't remember. All right. Right. These will stay in your template. They'll be there all the time, available. This is the metric template, right? So before I save it as a template, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to go into layout. I want you to have an A size layout and a B size layout, right? So I'm going to change this one. I'm going to leave this one at A. I'm going to change this one to B because they're both A, right? You can kind of tell by the rectangle of the paper that these two are the same. Yeah. All right. So right click on it and edit. There you go, page setup manager. Modify, modifying layout 2. First thing I want to do is just change this paper size. So it's in millimeters. You don't have to use paper size in millimeters, even though it's a metric drawing. You're going to probably go to a US copier or printer. So it's going to understand B size better. I don't know what that is. Full bleed B. ISO architectural. I don't know what the full B. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but I'm going to use it. And I want it landscape. Okay. So you can see how it kind of got bigger, right? So now we have a B size here, B size, and a size. Good. So you can rename these things. I always rename them. So this is going to be B size metric, just to remind myself. And right click, rename. This is going to be A size metric. Whoops. And I'm actually going to go change the paper size on this one. Got to get to it. Page setup manager, modify, because I don't want it to be metric. This could throw an error. If you print with that paper size, it could say, what? What do you mean? So I just always change it to A. All right. Now, good enough for layers, good enough for page setups. Go away. Each one I would take this viewport. I'm in paper space. You can only manipulate the viewport in paper space. And I would make it bigger. So I can use more of my paper, right? And I'd make this one bigger, obviously. Now my paper's nice and big, or my usable space. Good. So the only thing left to do, there's some dimension settings, but you can work your way through that. We did that last time, is make a title block. Okay. So we want a title block for B size paper and we want a title block for A size paper. All right, I'm going to go back to Blackboard to show you where the title blocks are because I loaded them. Hopefully, there they are. So this lab 2 has a file attached to it. And if I click on it, it's going to show you title blocks. So here is a size piece of paper, right? It's 11 by 8 this way, kind of thing, 8.5 by 11. So there are a number of title blocks you can use. And I don't care which one you use. I prefer this form 3 thing. That's kind of what we did on the last exercise, right? Was form 3 across the bottom. But a lot of people use form 1 across the side. So here's form 1. Here's form 3. Form 3 you would position here. Form 1 you would position here. It's by far simpler. So whatever you want, either one of those is fine. But there are very specific dimensions and stuff for it. Yeah. Yeah, approximately. It's printer, really. It just has to do with what you're printing to. Some printers have bigger buffers than other printers. So you just want it to fit on the page, is what you want. And when you go to print, you want it all to show up. So yeah, you can roughly use these 8 by 10.5 numbers to create your border and then the title block. That's fine. Or this one, which is just 8 inches up this way. But it does give, specific dimensions to the text and the boxes. So do follow that information. All right. This is the B size. Again, you can use form 3. It goes here in this area. You can use I didn't give you the rest of these forms. I guess you got to use form 3. Yeah, you could use form 1 up the side, but that's not so great. Form 3 is the way to go across the bottom. Right? All right, so those are there. I'm just going to look at form 3 real quick. Looks like it's 10.5, 4 1/4. That's good enough. I'm just going to do part of it. All right, so I'm just going to work with this the way it is. I'm in paper space. You got to make sure you're in paper space, right? And then you just draw, like just draw. I'm not sure how tall it was. I don't remember. I'm just going to do it at 1. Oh, I'm in millimeters, aren't I? That'll be tricky. So I'll go up 25 millimeters because that's pretty close to 1 inch. You'll have to do some converting. And then I'll offset 12.5, that's halfway. So I'm just building my title block, right? You just build it. Once it's built in your template, then you won't have to build it again. So yeah, this is a pain in the butt right now, but then we'll use it all turn. Same ones over and over and over, okay? Let me go offset 100. All right, so there's the beginning of my title block. Good enough. When I put text in, the easiest text, if it's been a while, is single line text. That's the easiest one. Right, and what I do is I just place it. So notice the default is 2.5, and I think I said I wanted 3. So 0 angle means horizontal. Just hit enter, and then I can type. One of the boxes is going to be scale, and what I do is X to X. So when I use my template, I just go in and edit that text to put in 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 or 1 to whatever. When I write drawn by, I'd probably put my name in because I'm going to be the one using this template, right? Lab name, XXXX type of thing, just so you can edit that easily, right? So now placing this stuff, if you grip it, there's a grip point. You can eyeball it, but that's not very accurate. Like if you want it all exactly the same, you'd want to give yourself like a marker, some kind of a spot to place your text, right? Then it's consistent and it looks good. So I might go line right here. I have to remember I'm in metric, right? And this is 12. So maybe I want to come up 3. So I'm going to go shift at, I'm going to put coordinates in. So I'm going to go 3, 3. That's going to be 3 millimeters in each direction. And it just marks the spot, right? Once you get it there, once you get your first one there, you can kind of build the rest of them pretty easily. Like I would just, often I just go Control C for copy. Once I grip it, right? Just copy, hit escape, Control V. Now I can get the next piece of text. And a lot of times you can drag it, right? It doesn't give me the 3 millimeters, but gets it close. If I want to be exact, I offset this line 3 millimeters to give myself more markers. I could offset the bottom line here 3 millimeters to give myself markers, right? I mean, you can get it as accurate as you want it. So then I would go, oh, I want that right there. What? OFF? I just do that. I think it's just OF and you get it. Yeah. And offset is right here. Offset. It takes an object, makes a copy at a distance. That's all it does. Then I would obviously need to get rid of this line when I'm done with it, right? I'd get rid of this line when I'm done with it. Okay, And then obviously I don't need two scales, so then I just click, highlights it. Drawn by Donaldson. Right? That's the way I do text, is I just don't keep creating text. I just copy, move, edit. Just seems to be faster. All right, all in paper space. Once you get it done, and if it's something you can use like on the other template, like this one, right? This is A size. Maybe I can use, if I go up the side here, I can use it. So literally you can just highlight it. Just choose it, Control C, that's copy. Come over to B size, make sure you're in paper space, and Control V. Boom, it comes in. You can place it anywhere. There it is. Right? Now I can go rotate, that's RO. Hit enter, pick your base point, and you should be able to use your green lines just to place it. There it is. And then what? Move. Which is not MO, obviously. That was new to me. Right? And then to here. Now, this viewport might not be the same size, so I'll have to look at this bottom. Yeah, so it's a little different. So that's because it was 8.5 and now this thing is 11, right? So maybe I don't want that up that tight. Maybe I want to move it down. Again, you can tweak this and make it yours. That's what I want.
There, tweaking and making it yours. It still needs to be like for professional work.
Yeah. Yeah.
How specific is the template?
The template is extremely specific to the company. None of the companies are the same.
So none of the clients or customers, it's just the company.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's who you're going to work for. And they're going to say, use template, blah, 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 blah for this drawing. Use template, blah, blah, blah for that drawing. And then when you open it, boom, company logo, title, all that crap will be there. Way more than you want will be there. These will be the simplest ones you ever work with. It's like, why? Why you guys do this? So complicated. But you can copy them from page to page and use them, right? So it seems like a lot of work, but once you get one done, you should be able to move it, modify it, make it yours, whatever you want. Okay. All right. Now let's go through the save, because that's the last critical piece. When you save this whole template file, you get both of these, right? You don't save them individually. You're going to save one metric template, and these two will be available. That makes sense? Yeah. All right. So then it is save as drawing template. Okay, not as a drawing. It's currently a drawing. I don't want a drawing. I want a template. So when you click that, it looks the same, right? But it does pull up the template folder. No, that's all right. Yep. Red A, save as. Right next to it is drawing template. Right there. Opens the template folder on whatever computer you're on. So if you want your template mobile, you need to put it on a flash drive or put it in OneDrive where you can get it anytime you want. If you're going to work on the same laptop or desktop or whatever, just do it in the template area. It'll look there every time for the template. Name it. So I would name this metric A and B paper. Something that I remember, oh, I got A and B set up in there and it's metric, whatever. Yeah.
Or,
You can. Yep. I kind of modified form 2 and set it on the for B. Yeah.
So anytime you do a drawing and you're making that template, you automatically have the drawing in both sides of the paper.
You have both sizes of paper available.
But as you're working in the model space,
Yep.
You could go to either template.
Either.
or you're working on this thing.
Yep.
Okay.
And a lot of times if I know, I'm just like, I just do B size now. Outside of school. Everything's B size. So my templates, I don't even have an A size anymore. If I do, as soon as I open it, I just get rid of the A. I don't need that one, right? But there's so many reasons to have lots of layouts. Like when I do construction drawings, each layout is a different drawing. So when you do construction drawings, you have to have concrete. You have to have a concrete plan. That's a layout, right? Then I have to electrical plan. That's a layout. Floor plan. That's a layout. Second level floor. That's a layout. And I have 15 of them, type of thing. So yeah. All right. So I've got it named. I put mechanical on there because it's kind of mechanical. You know, if it was architectural or construction, I might put that in there too. And I'm going to hit save. It's going to ask you like normal intentional metric drawing template, use color dependent plot styles, blah, blah, blah. Save all layers as unreconciled. I just leave all of that alone and say, sure. Okay. Now it's made and it is a DWT, a template. Okay. So when I go file new, I should be able to look and see, oh, there's another one that I made. Let's see if I can find my current one. Did I miss it? They're hard to find. There it is. I didn't put my name on that one.
Oh, you put your name on it?
I didn't. I just put metric A and B, right? So this is the one I've made before where I put my name on it. Right there. It's alphabetical. I should have remembered that. So it's coming up way down here because it says metric as the first thing. So you can put, if you put the letter A at the beginning of the name, it'll show up at the top of the list. Anyway, I'm starting a new drawing. I want to select my template. I'm going to select that template. Got it. And it's a drawing. So it used my template to create a drawing, right? That's what we want. My layers better be here. They are. There they are. My title block better be here. Yep. And I have two of them. I'm ready to go.
Do the text box go away with the mouse space?
It's only in paper space, the text box. Yep. So then first thing I do is erase this. Second thing I do is save it as a drawing. Like, because right now it's calling it drawing 3, right? So if this is lab 2, I go in and I say, oh, save as lab 2. No, Donaldson. I'd like your last name in front of the file name. And I'll just set it on the desktop. Save. All right. Now this drawing is started. I have everything from my template. I'm good to go. Good? Questions? All right. No, go ahead. I'm moving quick, aren't I?
Were there were other things we wanted to set up in a template, like all the stuff that we did on my computer, snap to grids and stuff, like just, is there any general settings that would be a good idea to?
Yeah, so let's go back to, why can't I just go back to Blackboard? It must be in here. Oh, no, it's not in here. Let's go new share. Oh, it's right there, I bet. Share. Yeah, okay. So what do I have here? I have make the two layouts, A size and B size, for both metric and US. I gave you some layers to set up, and I gave you the title block to set up. And then I said, go in and set the dimension text to an 1/8 inch in the US one, and 3 millimeters in the metric one. Precision to XX is what it should be. And then title block's pretty much partially done, like filled in except for the text, right? That's all for now. Yeah. I mean, like you said, I don't think the snap in the grid, I don't think that's retained in a template. No, I don't think you can retain that in a template. I mean, try it.
Yeah.
And then just reopen it and see if it worked or not. I don't think I've ever done it. There is a lot of other things we would put in a template, but I'm just gonna wait till we get there. And then as we move along, I'll say, add this to your template. Like when we make blocks, for sure, those should be in your templates.
And that, so what you would basically do is open your template, modify everything you want.
Yep,
and
that's a
then
great-
save it to the same template.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So this is a drawing, right? So I'm gonna close it, not gonna save it. Now I'm back to my template. I'm gonna close that. Now I'm back to a drawing, right? Everyone see what I'm doing here? Close that. Now I'm all the way back to nothing open. Okay, so if I go open, it thinks I want to open a drawing. And normally you do, like every day of the year, I want to open a drawing, not a template. So that's why it's defaulted to drawing. But you can come down and say, okay, I want to open a template. So when you do that, it throws you into here. And then I can see, oh, there's my first one. And then here's my metric, and I can open it. Now I have it as a template and it's open and I could modify the template. That makes sense? Yep. It's easy to forget you're in a template and start drawing. And get your drawing like all done and then realize, oh shit, I just put that in my template, right? You can do a save as and make it a drawing by forcing it to, but it's going to take your template and make it a drawing. It won't hurt your template, right? Your template will still be somewhere else because you've switched that extension. So you can do that if you accidentally draw in your template, which that can happen. So don't panic. All right, that's it. I will, since those of you in class are going to take those boxes, flatten them out and measure them, because you're going to need that information to draw the flat pattern. I will take a picture of somebody's good notes on that and we'll share it with Amy, or you can take a picture of your good notes and share it with Amy, or Amy can do it when she's in class tomorrow, maybe. Either one, something like that. All right, good enough. We'll figure it out. All right, that's it. Huh?